1.5 years ago, the so-called Dieselgate was first revealed in the United States. It was about the automobile manufacturers reporting artificially low emission levels so that some of their car models could comply with stringent environmental regulations, although in reality and under real-world driving conditions on the road, the actual emission levels of some air pollutants and also of CO2 emissions may be much higher than what is required by legislation. Now, this scandal, which of course has many extensions towards for other automobile manufacturers and also for other pollutants and also greenhouse gas emissions, could make us rethink about the importance and the balance between different policy instruments in order to reduce energy consumption and reduce carbon dioxide emissions in transport, but also in other energy-using sectors. Similar issues that have to do with the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of some environmental regulations and energy regulations have been identified by other experts in sectors other than transport. For example, in energy-using appliances such as TVs, vacuum cleaners, refrigerators, and so on. This means that probably as energy and environmental legislative requirements are becoming more stringent, they may also give rise to more incentives by manufacturers to cheat in order to show compliance with these more stringent regulations. This may pose the question to what extent we should rely on more stringent regulations or rather switch to market-based incentives to decarbonize our energy system. Market-based incentives could be carbon taxes, emission trading systems, other levies that are related to the greenhouse gas emissions of our energy sector, and so on. There are advantages and disadvantages both for regulations, so for legislative requirements and standards, but also for these economic instruments. Some of them are more efficient, some of them are more costly to societies. Economists prefer market-based instruments, and they tend to propose to governments to switch to emissions and energy-based taxes. On the other hand, the standard practice of policymakers, which is also supported by technology experts, is to impose some regulations if the technologies are available in order to save energy and reduce emissions. I would say that we need a balance. Some policies, some regulatory policies may have been costly to societies, although they have led to serious environmental improvements and to serious energy savings compared to what would have happened without the existence of such regulations. But at the same time, legislative requirements are not always cost-effective. They may be costly to societies in some hidden ways and indirect ways. So in the future, I would propose that policymakers depend more, rely more, and promote market-based instruments, economic incentives and disincentives in order to promote energy-saving behavior and reducing environmental pollution. But, of course, these economic incentives have to coexist with legislation, with command and control policies and regulations. We cannot do without them.